are going vertical on people. Let's go.
Wait. Hold up. What did wide receivers coach Kevin Beard just say? I'm going to play it back one more time. Listen closely.
We are going vertical on people.
We're going vertical on people?
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
What's going on, Canes fans? Day one of spring practice is officially a wrap, and we've got some very exciting things to talk about. Now, what I'm going to do is provide an overall summary from today, and we'll also hit on some of the high notes, and then I'll also try to answer some of the burning questions that I'm sure you guys have. But before we dive into it, double check for me real quick and make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. I know that many of you are in fact Canes fans, and you wouldn't want to miss out on any updates for spring practice, right? You guys are die-hard ride or die fans. If that's the case, double check and make sure that you have in fact clicked that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of this crazy spring practice stuff. And also just be aware that occasionally from time to time I'll share some clips from the practices, and I will be sure to give proper credit in the bottom left hand corner so you can follow whoever that clip came from. Now, I'm not going to do that very often because we're not out here trying to steal content from people or anything like that. But make sure that you give those people a follow if I do share just a brief clip. I will only do that if I need to, provide some extra context or something like that. Now, in some cases, I do have a few people that share clips with me that are inside there at practice, and of course they give me full permission to share those clips. So sometimes you will get to see some lengthier stuff here on this channel, and I'm very fortunate and thankful for those people. But anyways, let's get to the good stuff. I feel like the number one question that Canes fans are probably asking is, how did Tyler Van Dyke look? Was he 100% healthy? Just in case you forgot, because many of us have slept since then, Tyler Van Dyke was dealing with a shoulder injury last season. Now, I am happy to say that he looked 100% healthy today at practice, and he was even interviewed after, and the person asked him, TVD, if you had to play a game tomorrow, literally tomorrow was game day, would you be ready to play? And Tyler Van Dyke, he kind of paused for a second, and he said, yes, I would be ready to play. But when he gave a percentage of how healthy he is, he said, I'm around 90 to 95%. Now, let's also keep in mind, however, that TBD is an athlete, and the typical response from an athlete is, Coach, I'm ready to go. Put me in. I want to play. So would you really expect him to say anything else? But overall, he had that same amount of zip on the ball whenever he was throwing it, and he looked just fine at practice today. But while we're on the topic of injuries, let's also talk about Don Chaney Jr. for just a moment. He was suited up and practicing 100% today also. Now, at this point, we're all just hoping and praying that he makes it through spring practice and actually gets to see the field this season, because we all know that Chaney has had a string of bad luck when it comes to getting hurt. So hopefully he will be okay, but he was fine and ready to go today. Now, I do know that Trevante Citizen, Zion Nelson, and Leonard Taylor will not be active during spring practice this year. So I'm not talking about just one or two practices. I'm talking about the entirety of spring practice. They will be missing it. There's probably a few more on this list, and then, of course, hopefully not, but the reality of the situation is some guys will probably get injured in spring practice as it gets more and more physical, so that list will expand. But right now, day one, those are the three names that I have, but I'm sure there are more and will be more, so I'll continue to keep you guys updated as we get more information. When it comes to the new coaches, wide receiver coach Kevin Beard is one of the ones that really just stands out. This dude is super vocal and energetic. If I didn't know any better, I would think that he's just another receiver out there running the drills.
A lot of y'all trying to jog through here, trying to fill it out. When you running watch the TV, you're trying to sell vertical. So everything I'm doing, I'm coming.
And that's what we've all been asking for, right? Coaches that stay fired up, that are very vocal, and are hands-on. And that is literally the definition of Kevin Beard. And I also have to say, though, that there's no shortage of getting fired up whenever your OC and DC are from Louisiana. Those guys stay fired up. And there was obviously a big emphasis today on basics and fundamentals, which is to be expected whenever you're installing a new offense and a new defense. And keep in mind that, the early enrollees are here. So you've got a lot of new faces and guys that are trying to adjust to the college level. So this will be a theme throughout spring practice, which is typically a theme throughout spring anyways, but it's very important for us with all of the new faces on the coaching staff and with the players. And can I add just real quick before we move on that it puts a big smile on my face to see our offensive coordinator actually working with the quarterbacks. I freaking love it because you guys all know that Gaddis, of course, OC, but then also coached the receivers. And I don't know. I just wasn't a fan. Gaddis wouldn't have worked either way, even if he had coached the quarterbacks. But anyways, we've moved on from that. So let's not continue talking about it. But I just like seeing the OC work with the quarterbacks. It just makes sense. And of course, we need to mention a few standouts from practice today. And starting on the offensive side of the ball, you got to mention wide receivers Horton and Young. And those guys, if utilized properly in Dawson's offense, could absolutely eat this season. They could be super successful with their body size and their speed and athleticism. And man, those guys were really putting in some extra effort today. And we can't move on to defense without mentioning quarterback Emory Williams. There was the whole debacle with Rashada, and then Canes fans said, well, you know what? Emory Williams is the real deal. We'll take that dude over Rashada anyways. And Williams is proving those fans right, which makes me very happy. The dude is big and confident. He is an absolute freak of nature athlete, a beast. And I'm very excited for the future of this quarterback room. Emory Williams does not look like a freshman out there, which is a very good sign. On the defensive side of the ball, I feel like that we have to mention Ruben Bain. That dude might just mess around and see some playing time literally this season. And I'm not joking. He was consistently seen sprinting back from drills and giving 110% every single rep. And let me tell you, he looks very physical and strong out there. This dude does not play around. And I'm telling you, you can't put enough emphasis on those small little things like that. Those things, when you're giving 110% every single rep, when you're sprinting back from the drills and not just walking and jogging, those things do matter, I'm telling you, and it will translate to the field come the 2023 season. Just watch. But otherwise, Canes fans, that's really about it for spring practice day one. You have to remember that they're not out there in full pads, so it's nothing too serious just yet. But you cannot downplay the importance of every single practice during the spring. I mean, we're in the process of, installing a new offense and defense, and you're just trying to set the tone for the entire season. That starts literally right now. So every single one of these is super crucial, and they do matter. But make sure, like I said, guys, that you are subscribed to this channel because we're going to pump out the content in the month of March. And then, of course, we have the spring game coming up in April. And then in June, we're actually going to kick off the 2023 simulated season. So, yes, that is going to return this year. I'm very excited for that. But until then, I'll keep you guys up to date as best I can with, each and every spring practice. And then we'll be doing some like opinion type videos, who's going to start at this position based on how they're performing early on in spring. We'll do some hypotheticals. We'll break down the coaches, all that good stuff. So you're going to want to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. But day one, just a quick summary, hitting on some of the high points. And then throughout the coming weeks, we'll dive deeper and get into more detail with the practices as more things happen. But guys, let me know down in the comment section below, maybe which position group that you're hoping improves the most this spring, or that you think needs to improve the most. this spring, because I feel like that even though we struggled all around last year, you are going to have an idea of the position group that you think struggled the most, and you're crossing your fingers hoping that we see some serious progress during the spring and the off season. So let me know down in the comment section below, or let's just chop it up about spring practice in general if you don't want to answer the question. Remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.